We are down here in Surprise, Arizona, covering Royals spring training. We're now sitting down with Royals second baseman Jonathan India. Jonathan, second season with the team, second camp that you have. First and foremost, how you feeling?
Amazing. Yeah, I feel healthy, ready to go. Had an amazing off season, healthy off season, and I worked on things that I needed to work on, and I felt really good.
I thought last year you just had a string of bad luck when it came to certain injuries. None of it was seeming like it was just an oblique injury or something like that, or a hamstring. I know you dealt with a lot, but some of them you couldn't really control. I mean, first series of the season against Cleveland, you get hit in the head by a 99-mile-an-hour pitch. You get spiked later on. You have a shoulder injury later on. How much of that impacted you at the plate? Because I know when you're dealing with all these variety of injuries, it's a lot that goes into it. So when you look back at 2025, is that maybe why there were some struggling points of it?
Yeah, definitely played a factor. Um, but I think it was just being comfortable in my own skin in a new place. I just never really settled into my routine, who I am, and that's on me. So the organization did everything they could to help. They're a first class organization, and I thank them so much for helping me last year. And they helped me through the whole year, and I'm glad I finished the year rather than going on the IL. So, um, I was definitely banged up, but um, you know, this year more comfortable and ready to go.
No, I know everybody can tell, man. You cut the hair. We asked Vinny
Yeah.
yesterday, maybe if he had any inside information on why you decided to cut the hair. So is it just a fresh start, man? Is that where you're going with a shorter look?
No, I just woke up one morning in the off season and cut it off. I don't know. It just came upon me one morning, and I was like, I want to cut my hair. I've had it for 8 years. Um, the hair was, kind of my style for a long time, but yeah, I guess you could say it's a fresh start too. But yeah, I just felt like cutting my hair, and it feels good right now.
Last year the talk around you in spring training was learning all these new
Yeah.
positions, right? You learned left field, you learned third base, and unlike a lot of people, you didn't really have any experience in those
Mhm.
positions. And I know we talked about the injuries, but how much of a struggle was that going from being a second baseman your entire career and now you're being asked to learn a corner
Yeah,
outfield spot, learn a corner infield spot, which coming off the bat is just totally different than what you're seeing over there at second.
for sure. It was tough. But I'll do anything for a team. That's the type of player I am. So, I agreed to it and wanted to try it out. But it was definitely tough on the body, especially playing outfield in Kaufman. It's just different. It's a bigger outfield. It's different movements. So my body was pretty taxed at the beginning of the year, but um, I was grateful for that opportunity to just try something new in the big leagues. It's definitely tough to do it in the big leagues though. Um, but I'm grateful that I had the opportunity to do that. It was fun.
When we talked with Q about what it looks like this year, where you're going to be back at second base, that's where you're going to stay. And I know you said you're open to moving around, whatever it takes for the team. But when you look at your defense and knowing the position, knowing you're comfortable there, can that translate to the plate? We're just knowing that, hey,
For
every
sure.
time I go out to the field, I know where I'm going. I know what it looks like coming off the bat, and that can give me more confidence at the plate.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, it gives you that confidence. Like you're gonna play second base and you can work at that position only. So yeah, I've been grinding pretty hard this off season. I grinded really hard at second base and learning all the angles again and getting back to my original self there. And this spring has been great so far. So yeah, it definitely gives you a lot of confidence to being, that you're gonna stick there and play there most of the year.
You've talked about your off season and how much you've worked and worked hard at trying to better yourself at second base, working on stuff at the plate. What did these last couple of months look like for you going into camp?
It was a lot of on the field work. I was on the field 4 times a week. Just having fun again, honestly. Being out there, being athletic is the biggest thing for me. I was able to be myself on the field and move around and make some cool plays. So I was on the field a lot. That's what I was able to do this spring, this off season. The past off season, I was coming off of ankle surgery, so I didn't have time to do that. But this off season, I really prepared my body and my legs for the season.
We know that when you came over, one of your calling cards, one of your best traits was your ability to draw a walk. You were top five in walk percentage in 2024, and then you come over here where what's needed is a guy that can get on base in front of Bobby Witt Jr. So when you're at your best at the plate, when you feel your best, what goes into the approach? Is it that I'm seeing a lot of pitches, I'm drawing a lot of walks, or is it I'm seeing ball, I'm hitting it hard?
Yeah, I'm a very simple hitter. I pick my zones where I want to hit and, see ball, hit ball hard, like you said. So I kind of got away from that last year. Um, the opening series, I hit a couple balls to the track and I guess it got in my head a little bit. So yeah, I kind of started pulling off the ball and swinging harder and swinging at pitches I shouldn't be swinging at. So it just took a toll on me. But this year I'm gonna stick to myself, stick to my approach like I usually do, and be the best version of myself.
I find it interesting when you talk about, balls dying at the warning track. That has been a constant at Kauffman Stadium for decades. And now with the fences moving in, I remember JJ Piccolo saying, when we have a guy at the plate and he hits the ball hard and he hits the ball deep, you want to be rewarded for it because you don't want them changing their swing
Right.
if they fall a little bit short. So you found yourself kind of altering your swing when you'd strike a ball well. It might be 106, 107 off the bat and 380 plus feet, and it's going to be an out at the end of the day. So you found yourself kind of switching things up, trying to get under it even more?
No, yeah, I felt myself swinging harder. That was the thing. I was just swinging out of my shoes a little bit, pulling off the ball was a big thing. Um, yeah, so it definitely got in my head a little bit.
I know that you have a couple of new hitting coaches on the staff here to work with Zumi when you have Marcus Timms and you have Connor Dawson. I know it's early on, so I'm not expecting you to know them that well just yet, but is there anything that you're picking up on or stuff they're trying to help you with?
Not really now. I showed them what I did in the off season. I showed them what I need to do throughout the year to be myself. And they, they're there for me. So they're really good guys. They know what they're talking about. They've been around. Um, so yeah, they've been very helpful these past couple days.
Last couple for you. Really appreciate your time, Jonathan. You guys have expectation now, and for so many years in Kansas City, when you get to surprise Arizona, so much had to go right for the team to have a successful season. Now you guys are looked at it as that team that should be in the postseason, should compete for a central title. If there's one difference you see from your first year last year to now, what would it be?
As a team, you're
Yeah.
saying? You know what? I think a lot of guys are just really locked in the spring. They came off a playoff run, um, but this spring feels a little different. Everyone's locked in on their what they need to do for preparation. They're ready to go each and every day, um, but they're getting their bodies healthy, and they're not. Like, you could tell that no one's skipping a beat. For the preparation, and that's the biggest thing in this game is if you're prepared, you know, you can't control what's going to happen on the field. As long as you're prepared, you should have good results. So I just everyone's locked in and has preparation going really well.
Spring training can be such a funny thing because you guys do have stats, you guys do have numbers, and you guys aren't throwing any of these games. It's more of just exhibition, it's repetition for you guys. And first and foremost, health is the most important thing. But if there was one thing you could leave camp with at the end of March, what would it be?
I would say, I mean, health is the number one. I feel like everyone says it, but you want to feel the best you could feel by opening day. You don't want to kill yourself in spring, but you need to get your work in. You need to work smart. Um, but not too hard, So there's a balance for sure, and then you learn, and everyone learns every spring how their body adjusts to how their work ethic is. So I'm a guy that goes balls to the wall, right away. Um, but then now I take pride in recovery. I take pride in my stuff in the training room. Take pride in the gym. So it's everyone's different, but I think the biggest thing is health. Leaving here healthy and everyone's ready to go is the biggest thing.
All right, Jonathan. Well, thanks so much for joining
Awesome.
us and good luck this camp.
Thank you.